Run through some headlines here. Number one, both the president and Caroline today would not rule out, and Pete Hegseth would not rule out ground troops. Now, they say that's just to keep all options open, but it's making some people nervous. Wall Street Journal, Trump, quote, actively considering U.S. role in Iran after conflict ends. U.S. sank Iranian warship with submarine torpedo. The Secretary of Defense said that happened. It hasn't happened since World War II. The strikes continue. I believe this is the case. And again, fog of war, ladies and gentlemen, you have to rely on what the government say and what others say, because I can't count these things myself. The U.S. is dropping more bombs and missiles on Iran day to day. The numbers have gone up, I believe, every day. And the Iran number of missiles that they're firing has gone down every day. And that's part of statistically what caused the Secretary of Defense of War today to say, it's going in the right direction. Let's see. Spain, Caroline Levitt at the briefing said Spain has caved and now will allow U.S. ships to use their ports. Caroline was very aggressive on CNN and the media today about coverage, as was Pete Hegseth for the second time. And there's just some incredible video of U.S. and Israeli military technology. As was mentioned before, the Senate did not succeed in voting for war powers resolution. Speaker Johnson has been particularly aggressive in speaking on behalf of the president's position that we're not really at war. This is just an operation. And Senator Thune also very aggressively on the president's side. Let's play both those Senate leaders. I think we haven't heard much from them, and both of them interesting. So number 12 and number 13 back to back, please.
3 of our U.S. embassies in the last couple of days. Okay, those are sovereign territories of the U.S. They have declared war on us. I don't believe in the semantics. We've talked about the language this morning. We're not at war right now. We're 4 days in to a very specific, clear mission, an Operation Epic Fury, which has 2 components, as you know, that we have articulated over and over. The president has, the Commander of Joint Chiefs, everybody has explained. 2 points. We had to take care of these ballistic missiles that they were producing at such a rapid pace that our regional allies could not keep up with. We had to ensure that they can't fire all those barrage of missiles at our people, our troops, our assets, our citizens in the region, and our installations. We're taking that out. We
are Democrats, I believe, who understand that what we're doing in Iran right now makes all the sense in the world from a national security standpoint. But this is an attempt, again, to try to derail or step on the president's messaging around that and create a political issue where there really isn't one. And that's why I'm hopeful we're going to be able to defeat it, because that's really what it is. This is nothing more than political messaging on behalf of the Democrats. This isn't going anywhere. The president's acting well within his authority as the commander-in-chief.
Yeah. We're just a few days.
Now, there are a lot of people in the Democratic Party who like Israel. And there are a lot of people in the Democratic Party who don't like Iran. There are a lot of people in the Democratic Party who are happy using force in service of human rights and American security. And yet, the Democratic Party is, all the polls show, and the reaction of the Democratic politicians in Congress show, totally against this, in part because it's Donald Trump's war. As he said, the base of the Democratic Party demands everybody in the party talk like Elizabeth Warren. Everybody except for Josh Gottheimer and John Fetterman. The Republican base and Swazi, a few others. The Republican base is split, right? It's mistake. People make the mistake of saying the MAGA wing of the Republican Party is more against the war. They're in fact more for the war because they're more for anything Trump does. But a lot of prominent MAGA voices are against the war, and a lot of Republicans are. And so here's my question, Christine, first. Why are Thune and Johnson not torn in 2 directions? Why are they politically able to just be foursquare for whatever Donald Trump's for on the war?
Well, I think they're actually in keeping with a tradition of presidents taking these kinds of military actions as long as they're short-lived. So Obama bombed Libya, and he didn't go to Congress for approval for that. And some of the same Democrats who would criticize Trump for doing this now didn't criticize Obama for doing it then. So there's partisanship in there as well. I think the difference here is that if he leaves open the possibility of this extending into months or ground troops being sent, then he has to go to Congress. Our Constitution's pretty clear about that. He's got a certain window of time to do these operations. Other presidents have done these in the past. So I think that they're just in keeping with a role that Congress has long fulfilled, regardless of whether Democrats or Republicans are in charge when it comes to presidential use of the military in these operations.
Yeah. Yeah. But see, what is there a scenario where you think Democrats could come around and some of them and more of them and say, this is good. Thank goodness President Trump did this.
Think they've had measured responses,
Yeah.
but but in a midterm year, I don't think there's any budging on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Politically,
Yeah.
I would even advise them not to budge.
Yeah. All right. Let's Polymarket one question here. This is number 14. Will the regime fall by the end of this month? Will the regime fall by the end of this month? It had gone up to close to 30, and now it's back down to 16% right now. Polymarket bettors saying fall by the end of the month. Yeah, see, is that something you think do you think 16% is right, or would you say it's higher?
I would put it even a little bit higher. I mean,
Yeah.
the second bombing of what I guess was the B team of leaders
Yeah.
that came to do another meet. It's not, and also the continuing to meet in person
Yeah.
is hilarious on their part. But I would put it actually even a little bit higher.
They like the snacks. They like the snacks. They like to do it in person. Christine, where are you on the question of whether the government might fall?
I agree with you, Misi. Although now I'm going to start
Yeah.
using Polymarket as a verb all the time, like you did, because
Yeah,
I like
that's-
that. We
yeah.
have Polymarket
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah. Thank you for being part of the two-way experience on this historic day. And when we speak about history, first thing that comes to mind is the Cozy Earth bubble cuddle blanket. Why do I say that? Thomas Jefferson had a bubble cuddle blanket. FDR had one too. And now you can join a long line of presidential greats by buying your own bubble cuddle blanket. Go to cozyearth.com, use the promo code two-way for 20% off everything on the site, including the historic bubble cuddle blanket. It's called the blanket of presidents. I don't know if you know that. You can also get the Baja bedding set, the Lux bath towel set, and then the pants. The pants are spectacular. They'll change your life. I wore the pants to my doctor's appointment today, and my doctor couldn't stop talking about them. At one point, I have to say, "Doc, get back to the examination. Enough with the pants. Yes, they're wonderful." He asked me where I got them. I said, cozyearth.com. And then, even though he's not technically a member of the two-way community, I gave him the promo code. I'm going to write to the New York Times ethicist and see if that was okay. Anyway, cozyearth.com, promo code two-way, 20% off everything on the site. Hey, want to be part of the two-way community all the time? Hit the subscribe button. Great video clips like this, plus conversations like no other, full episodes, and more, always available on this channel. You got to hit subscribe to never miss a thing. You can now listen to full episodes of The Morning Meeting and Two Way Tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.